Hey, welcome back. Here it is Sunday evening, working our way through the section of the Psalms, a collection of David's short Psalms. We're on Psalm 14 tonight, Psalm 14, and it's a psalm that is dedicated to the atheist. Except the Bible doesn't ever use the word atheist. The Bible word for atheist is fool. God told us not to call people fools, but he can. And in this first psalm, he defines a fool. He said, "The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God." I said this morning in my message, I don't have enough faith to be an atheist. Uh, do you? I mean, can you walk outside and look at God's beautiful creation, look at the trees and the green fields and the blue sky and the waters and the birds and all the critters, and look around and just tell yourself and convince yourself there is no God? Can you look at a little newborn baby and say there is no God? Can you study the human eye and its intricacies and say there is no God? I don't have enough faith to be an atheist. It's a lot easier for me just to believe that there's a creator behind all this stuff, and that's our God. But there's two faiths on this planet, basically. Those that believe there's a God and those that believe there is no God. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They're corrupt. They've done abominable works. There's none that doeth good. Now this bottom phrase from Psalm 14:1 is the one that Paul drew out and used in Romans, not just for the atheist or the fool that said in his heart there's no good God, but for all of us, that there's none that doeth good. We've all gone astray. But the good that we do is believe the gospel message, and your faith is counted for righteousness. The Lord looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that did understand and seek God. I've often thought that there wouldn't be anybody that would ever seek God if God didn't move upon them to do so first. They're all gone aside. They're all together become filthy. Our righteousness is as filthy rags. There's none that doeth good. No, not one. Also quoted in Romans. None that doeth good. No, not one. Have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge? Or to paraphrase that, they're all stupid. All the workers of iniquity, they have no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread. Now see, here we see there's two groups. There's God's people, and then there's those that are not God's people. The wicked, they eat up my people as they eat bread, and persecutors and oppressors, and they call not upon the Lord. They'll never find the Lord because they're too proud to admit there is a Lord, and certainly too proud to call upon him. There were they in great fear, for God is in the generation of the righteous. You hear a lot today about that. They got a different name for all the generations, Gen X and Gen this, Gen that. I'm a baby boomer, I think. But instead of worrying about what generation you belong to, make sure you're part of the generation of the righteous, is what the Bible calls the believers, the generation of the righteous. And that's for all time, fit in that generation. You have shamed the counsel of the poor, because the Lord is his refuge. Oh, that the salvation of Israel were come out of Zion. Now, in the Old Testament, that's David's longing heart, that there'd be salvation come out of Zion. And we're on this side of the split in time, BC and the year of our Lord. We're on this side of the cross, if you would. So salvation has come out of Zion for us now. Jesus has come. He went to the cross and he emptied the tomb. But David's time, you can see this is a psalm maybe about the captivity, when the Lord brings back the captivity of his people. When that happens, he said, Jacob shall rejoice and Israel shall be glad. Now our captivity in this day and time is like, have you been taken captive by the devil? If you don't know the Lord, then you're part of the devil's captives. But the Lord can release you from that captivity just by you making the decision to trust Him and believe His gospel. And then you'll find rejoicing and you'll find gladness. Glad day, when Jesus took my sins away. See you next week.